Hello and welcome back to Heads Will Roll Reforged and the Threads of Destiny DLC. So obviously in the previous episode we were kind of caught in a little bit of a time loop. However, I actually think that we're going to be okay here. I have just been hit, unfortunately, by the bandit ambush again, because obviously we have to go through this fight once more. But the developer, once again, as I said, very hardworking. They have pushed another update, another 2 updates maybe, actually. And I think they have now fixed what the problem was. So we're going to see whether that is indeed the case for me. And we're going to try and see if I can maybe actually, get past where we need to get past. Because I really want to play more of this. And we are hopefully going to be okay here. Ooh, okay, that... Oh, no. Don't stun me again. Did you literally stun me again? Am I dead? Yeah, I had to literally drink some strong ales. If I die here, I am going to be incensed. That would be extremely, extremely funny, actually, to a certain degree. Okay, you know what? I'm going to use my crossbow. I am literally going to use my crossbow, and I'm just going to double tap this guy in the head. There we go. You're dead, sir. That was way too much damage. I should have just shot him once. Yeah. Should have just shot him once. That probably would have been enough. But I'm getting a little bit worried about it, I'm getting a little bit worried about me actually dying here. Because that is a very likely possibility at this point. Because I'm actually toxic, I have 60% increased injury chance, more damage taken. I am stunned yet again. Yeah. Dangerous. Very, very dangerous. Okay, so let's just try to kill this guy. He's got Culling Strike. Yeah, Culling Strike him. Yeah, let's Culling Strike him. There we go. He's dead instantaneously. Very nice. Okay, this guy... It's going to be difficult to deal with. Hopefully, yeah, I also have this problem as well. Accuracy and evasion reduced by 1 because I have a problem with my eye. Because the funny thing is, I haven't been able to get to the physician. And I don't think there is even a physician at the camp. So we're going to have some issues with that. Potentially. And I'm thinking at this point, maybe it's a... I don't know. I don't really want to say that because I don't really want to lose this character. Because I have spent a lot of time on this character, actually, off-screen, before when I was obviously fighting Ruffin. I was getting to grips with the crossbow itself, because I had no idea how to use a crossbow initially, and I was, just kind of fumbling around with it as best as I could and trying to, get used to it. And then when we started this DLC, I had to kind of relearn a little bit about the game, and I love this game, so I kind of know how to get back into it relatively quickly. But the fact is, if we die here, it's gonna be sad. That's all I'm saying. Okay, yeah, unfortunate that this guy is actually just blocking with his shield. That's extremely irritating, but I can't really do much about that, so I'm just going to continue recovering right now. If we can win this, I'll be very, very pleased. Is he just blocking 100% of the time? Wow, okay. 100% of the time. Come on now. Yes, there we go. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Thank you. Okay, so this guy doesn't have a shield, thankfully, so hopefully he's not going to be doing something annoying to me right now. And I'm just going to literally go for the head. Nice. That was a critical strike. If I was wearing the skull ring, then he would be dead instantaneously, which is also the reason why I thought maybe I should keep that on, Maybe I should keep it on because it is indeed one of those things that can very quickly turn the tide of battle. And I was thinking, yes, maybe I should do that. But, you know how it is. Sometimes, yeah, well, I still have it, right? Don't I still have it? I think I still have it. So if I want to, I can re-equip it if we like. But yeah, I think this is going to be fine now. Let's do Culling Strike. Just eliminate him. There we go. He's out of there. This guy is now here too. I'm actually going to shoot this guy. I am actually going to shoot this guy. In just a moment. There we go. Shoot him. Aimed shot. In the head. Hit him. Yes. 27 damage. Nice. Unfortunate for me that that did not actually kill him, but, you know, that's how it goes. Okay, this guy's exhausted, so I don't even need to worry about him in the least. He's never, ever going to hit me in 2 billion years, and I'm very pleased about that. I'm just going to use Respite a little bit more here, and then we are going to finish him off with a lovely culling strike to the head. Almost 49 damage, that's quite funny. And yeah, whatever. To the limbs, doesn't matter. He's dead. He's out of here. Okay, so now let's take a look and see. I'm obviously going to loot them. Oh, this is pretty nice. Ooh, they're actually dropping... What? They're dropping some really, really good stuff right now. Oh, no. Don't drop all of this really, really good stuff, guys. Oh, dear. Okay, let's go over to my inventory real fast. I'm going to put the wine bottle into my merchant's pouch even. Sorry. And... load the bolt, load a bolt, load a bolt, load a bolt. There we go. Yes, this is nice. Perfect, perfect. Okay, now we have so much more space, and I can indeed take all of this stuff. And we could sell all of it, or we can equip it, or we can do anything we want with it, basically, which is really, really good. Crossbow reloading tool, I don't need that. It might be good to take a couple of these. Sergeant's scabbard. What do I actually have? What is my scabbard? I don't have a scabbard? I don't have a scabbard? Am I serious right now? I don't have a scabbard. This gives me 10 prestige. Penalties apply when... Yeah, okay. So, yeah, we are going to be using this scabbard. Thank you very much. There we go. I didn't even know I didn't have a scabbard. That is hilarious. Okay, so is there anything else that I want to take here that is actually going to be useful? Not really. Okay, here we go. You proceed to Rowan, and after just an hour, break into the Duke's residence. Some common guards and servants attempt to block your path several times, but Desroches' searing glare and shout are sufficient to make them get out of the way. You find the Dauphin and Charles in the main hall at a table set for a meal. And indeed, as you can see, the developer has fixed the infinite looping issue. I can only hope that we can see a physician relatively soon, because I am a little bit worried about our health right now. Okay. I'm always delighted to have you in my house, but why the hell do you burst in here like a comet? Seeing armed men enter the room after Desroches, the Dauphin tenses up and instantly changes his tone from friendly to irritated. And it doesn't look like you came to me with the best of intentions. Explain yourself at once, or I'll have my knights throw you out. It was not a whim of mine that brought me here, Dauphin, but your father's will. You and your knights will lay down your arms and await his arrival in Rowan, under the protection of my men. You hear that, Charles? My bloody Pops has apparently gone completely off his rocker. I hear. And what, may I ask, am I accused of? The king will charge you himself if he deems it necessary. To hell with it. To hell with you and to hell with my father. He can have Normandy back. I wouldn't want it even for free, and he may deal with all his problems on his own. I'm off to Senlis. Senlis? Oh, wow, all of these names, I'm sorry. Charles, I hope you won't mind keeping me company. The Dauphin takes a step back, heading for the exit of the hall, but Desroches blocks his way. I'm asking you as a friend. Let's avoid the violence. The Dauphin opens his mouth to reply, but one of his bodyguards forestalls him, and with a shout, no one dares to threaten the Dauphin, draws his sword, not his sword, but his sword. And we're going to be fighting. No! We're going to be fighting, but look at me. Look at me. I am heavily toxic right now. Oh, dear. Okay, well, I actually do have Antidote 2, which I am going to use. Can I heal? Yes. I actually had some healing. Can you imagine me actually having some healing for once? because I never usually have heals in my inventory. You know this if you've seen my previous foray into Heads Will Roll. I literally just never have it. But this time around, oh yeah, I managed to be a little bit prepared. Oh yeah, that's amazing. Okay, I'm going to use my crossbow, and we are just going to shoot him. Let's triple tap him, shall we? In the neck. Well, I mean, he's almost dead. Right? He's almost dead. So I guess the only thing I can really do right now is just go for the body. Maybe? Should I just shoot him again? I actually don't know. Ah, limbs. Go for the limbs. I have a massive amount of agility as well now, hilariously enough, so I highly doubt he's actually going to be able to hit me. Funnily enough, he is just spamming shield bash. I really wish they wouldn't. Okay, what about pommel strike? Let's try and stun him. Yes, he's stunned. That's hilarious. Okay, you are going to die now, sir. There we go. That was nice and simple. Is it just one? Yes, it seems like it is indeed just one. That's fantastic. Okay, so Ring of Strength plus 7 strength and makes you resistant to stuns. That might actually be something that we want to desperately go for, considering the fact that I am consistently getting shield bash spammed. So maybe a nice idea, you know, maybe a nice idea. Anyway, let's load these bolts while I can. And let's just equip this thing while I have the ability to do so. I'm thinking right now that what I'm going to do is I will equip this and we will sell the destroyed one, probably. And I think I have enough space. This is 350 to sell it, even if I want to use it, which I probably don't. That's enough, no more. I will submit to the will of the king, whatever it might be. Thank you for your prudence, Dauphin. I'm sorry it ended this way, my friend. Nice work, De Roche. You're just in time. Not to be rude, Your Grace, but I truly hope you have very solid evidence suggesting that the Dauphin is indeed involved in the uprising. Such words could easily be interpreted as questioning my integrity, but given the moment, I'll turn a blind eye. I have proof of the Dauphin's complicity in Geoffrey de Harcourt's plot, and my men will provide it to the king personally as soon as he arrives here. This matter concerns his son directly and requires delicacy, so if you really have any doubt that Charles of Navarre is telling the truth, you'll have to take my word for it now. I wouldn't dare to doubt your sincerity, Your Grace. But when such vociferous accusations are made, one always wants to see proof. All in good time, especially since we have larger problems on our hands. How was your trip? No trouble. Rowan's outskirts are crawling with bandits, but we made it without difficulty, says you, De Roche. I feared that the rebels would have got time to get closer to the city, but it seems like we're in luck. That's true. Despite the Dauphin's passivity, Geoffroy is also in no hurry, preferring to rally his supporters to the de Harcourt family castle and bide his time. He is in no rush to invade deep into the duchy, but this slowness is deceptive. He knows these parts like the back of his hand, and he has also got lots of friends around here who are ready to supply his troops. The English might also provide him with assistance, so when he does decide to strike, it could be lightning fast and deadly. His only chance of serious success lies in capturing Rowan. As long as the city is in our hands, the defeat of Geoffroy's rebellion is only a matter of time. Despite the Dauphin's intention to sabotage the defenses of Rowan, I sent a paper on his behalf to the local bailiff with orders to gather troops and advance toward the city. With him and his men, you should have enough forces to hold Rowan and contain Geoffroy until the royal army arrives. How you're going to do it, however, is not my concern. I'm not going to teach you how to wage war. It's your job to defeat the king's enemies on the battlefield. My job is to rule Navarre and not let any of my allies get stabbed in the back. And I've done my part. It's your turn now. Geoffroy doesn't stand a chance, Your Grace. But just in case, I think you should leave Rowan. If it comes to a siege, this will be no place for a monarch. Now that's something I completely agree with. See you in Paris. Alright, so once stationed in the Duke's residence with his men, Desroches actively engages in organizing the city's defense. After establishing contact with the bailiff, he discovers that the man has indeed assembled, on Charles's orders, a capable detachment to fight the rebels. However, due to the epidemic of dysentery that broke out in his camp, he can't yet move towards Rowan. Also, the combat effectiveness of his detachment is now somewhat undermined, presenting you with the opportunity to make up for your failure to clear the road ambushes. Desroches assigns you the task of assisting the bailiff's men. Yes, I actually don't mind this. I think this is fine. I just wish I had cleared the road a bit faster. Yeah, that tends to happen to me quite often, doesn't it? Anyway, we can actually just clear all of our wounds. Thank you very much. And what we're going to do immediately is get into the trade screen. So, we have a crossbow here. If you don't have a crossbow, you can obviously purchase one. A buckler. This is probably one of the best shields in the entire game. Let's see. There's a poisoned winged bolt here, which might be pretty cool. Let's buy that. What else do we have? Well, we just have some leather there. I don't really need money, so me purchasing leather and so on and so forth doesn't really make any sense right now. So I am basically just going to sell everything that I feel is somewhat useless to us. I think I'm already wearing something like this. Yeah, that's fine. Can sell that. The old ring, strength plus 10. Do I want to have something with strength plus 10 instead of this, which gives me agility 3? I personally like weapon skill a little bit more, so I think I'm going to sell that. Ring of strength gives me 7. Resistant to stuns, that's pretty nice. I mean, resistance to stuns is kind of the main reason why you'd get that, I guess. But yeah, anyway, for me personally, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to purchase a bunch of healing herbs. I still wish we had a fast buy mechanic right here. The little green arrows. The little green arrows would be amazing in these situations, but unfortunately, no. We're not getting that. So, yeah, let's make some medicine. There we go. Nice. Loads of medicine. Loads of medicine. Okay, so what we're going to do is I need to make... wait a minute. I need to make antidote 2, I think. Wine bottle, strong ale. Okay. Strong ale. This is easy enough. And I mean, I do need to... I am going to buy some leather anyway, because I do want to make some water skins. It's going to be pretty important for us. Isn't there something else that I wanted to do here? Oh, yeah. Oh, no. We have strong ale, and I believe it is medicine, right? Or, what was it again? Antidote 2. Medicine canteen. Ooh. Oh, that's actually a lot more, that's a lot more than I thought. Okay. Canteen. Okay, well, there's a canteen. I can create 2 of those. So let's just create that, because that's going to give me antidote 2, which is pretty nice. Canteen, medicine, and there you go. Okay, yeah, I just wanted to create a couple of those because I personally think that that is extremely, extremely powerful for us. It has actually helped me a great deal in coming over here, at least. And now we'll just get some potent medicine, because let's face it, I'm probably not going to sell this, all things considered, because I don't think that's particularly necessary. But I think that the potent medicine, well, it didn't save me, so to speak, but it definitely made a huge difference. So, I'm just going to go over here, repair this. There we go. Put that back on. And there is a poisoned bolt here. Let's equip that. Equip this, just in case. You never know. Yeah, I think that's fine. Potent medicine. I think we should probably go over to the chest here. I can actually upgrade this. I for some reason I haven't upgraded this. I don't know why. But that's quite funny nevertheless. So let's just put some of this stuff in here. You never know when I'm maybe going to need it. Yeah, I think that's fine. Let's just do this. Yeah, I'll just keep 2 on me, I think. 2 on me is probably pretty fine. Okay, so we have some activities. Now we can actually access the bathhouse, which is wonderful. We don't have that much time, as you can see. For some reason, I don't know why. So we're going to have to go to the bailiff's camp. So first of all, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the bathhouse real fast. Okay, wait a minute. Oh no. Shortly after you establish yourselves in Rowan, Desroches, anticipating the possibility of a potential rebel siege of the city, instructs you to go through his equipment and make sure it's in good order and requires no repairs. Once settled in one of the inner rooms of the ducal chambers, which are now occupied by your boss, you begin to scrutinize the vast arsenal of his armor and weapons. For a man who is quite well off and highly placed in the royal court, Desroches' equipment is Spartanly plain, functional, and convenient armor with minimal decoration, but with multiple chips, scratches, and dents, as well as weighty and unadorned weapons, also with traces of numerous battles. Having completed your errand and put aside everything that requires repair, you're about to report to Desroches on the work done, when several armed men suddenly burst into his chambers. I am so thankful that I rested as my first action. Literally. So incredibly pleased about that. Okay, there's also a new... there's something that I wanted to bring to your attention here. There is a new gameplay mechanic. And this is the new mechanic. You know how we were gaining experience, right? Usually, okay, so in this game, you don't actually level up, quote unquote. If you don't know anything about Heads Will Roll, and this is the first time you're seeing the game, you don't actually level up, you do training, right? So you do training like you've seen me do in the past couple of episodes. I leveled up my agility, I leveled up my strength, so on and so forth, leveled up my weapon skill, and so on, right? However, there are also these things, civic talents and weapon talents and so on and so forth. When you level up your weapon skill, you gain weapon talents, and when you gain experience points, and this is the new game mechanic that has been added in the latest update, when you get 100 of this, you gain a civic talent. And as far as I'm aware, that has been changed, because last time when I played, you would complete a chapter and then you would gain a civic talent. But this allows you to gain a talent point in the middle of a chapter, so you don't necessarily need to finish it. So I think that's pretty cool. I think that's a pretty cool change. Let's see how it goes. Let's see when I'm actually able to gain a civic talent, because I wasn't actually thinking I was going to get one that soon, but there you go. Anyway, let's proceed. Alright, so who's this? Assassin. He's got 25 weapon skill. Ah, okay. You know what? Yeah, this guy has no shield. He has no idea what he's about to unleash. I am literally just going to murder him. Did I only hit him once? Did I really only hit him once? I am so incredibly sad right now that I only hit him once. Okay, let's do a double tap. There we go, nice. Okay, my armor's damaged. Of course it is, you know. That's a classic right there. That's an absolute pure classic. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, this is basically never going to happen, as you can quite clearly tell. This is never going to happen. So what we're going to do is I am actually going to be shooting again. Gonna go for an aimed shot. We'll just eliminate this guy. What do I actually have in my click? No, I didn't. Wait a minute. I need to reload. I thought I had one left. Apparently I didn't. Oh dear. Okay, yeah, this is a bit problematic. Okay, so I've reloaded at least. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to hit this guy. Aim shot. Hit him in the limbs. Drum jammed? No! It's jamming? Why is it jamming? Is it actually damaged right now? No, it doesn't look like it. How do I tell whether... Hunting bolt. Yeah, I mean, the drum is unjam. Oh no, need a rondel dagger to Oh dear. Okay. Yeah. See, now this is exactly one of the reasons why I said to you, yeah, you know, I have been attempting to get to grips with the crossbow. Because it's a little bit of a learning curve, especially when you're dealing with a mechanical crossbow like this one. So yeah, anyway, I'll go for the 33%. And he's dead. Well, that's funny. That's hilarious. Okay, there we go. Oh, he actually spoke to me for a real quick second. Okay, I have no idea what he said, but hilariously enough, what if I do... Can I... yeah, that's not really going to help me, is it? How do I see what happened beforehand? I actually don't know. But funnily enough, I was actually looking at the forums, and someone was talking about, you know, something happening with Darosh and assassins coming in, and I had no idea what was going on, obviously. I was just randomly looking around the forums to see if they had fixed the infinite loop. And, well, apparently what Darosh says is he wants you to take this guy alive. He wants you to take him alive, right? So what we're going to do is I'm going to spam Pommel Strike. I highly doubt that's actually going to make any difference, and I highly doubt this is actually going to do anything because, you know, I think there's going to be some contingency that means that nothing is actually going to happen to this guy. Oh, no, never mind. We got him stunned. We got him stunned. Okay. That was cool. All right, so we actually did get him stunned. That's wonderful. And I can now take all of this stuff. Wow, some really, really nice bolts, actually. Nice bolts. I like it. Okay. Yeah, so unfortunately, I can't unjam my... I can't unjam my crossbow now, which is pretty terrible. Following the order, you inflict several wounds on the last assassin and then knock him down with a powerful punch. But before you can disarm him, he does something quite unthinkable. He pulls out a dagger and with a yell, "Normandy will be free!" plunges it into his throat. Just a moment later, Darosh belatedly snatches the dagger away from him and tries to cover the wound with his hands, but the hemorrhage is too intense. And just a few moments later, the assassin draws his last breath. "Well, if I knew it would end like this, I'd order you to cut his hands off. Although in that case, that bastard would probably just jump out the window." "You said about free Normandy, sire. Perhaps the attack was a rebel plot." "Maybe it is indeed a greeting from Geoffroy de Harcourt, or maybe it isn't. There are many individuals who would like to get even with me. You of all people should know that. And one must admit that they almost succeeded this time. It appears that once again I must thank you for saving my life. If not for you, those fellows would have shredded me like a cabbage. You can count on me, sire. That's what I have no doubt about. If it's all the rest that raises questions, and here I just got excited about no longer having to sleep in chainmail. All right, you may go now. The sooner we put an end to Geoffroy's rebellion, the less likely he'll be to organize something like this again." All right, nice. Okay, so I thankfully did manage to complete this, and we do still have to do health issues. So I need to do the dysentery epidemic. I think my fatigue is actually fine. However, I don't have the ability, as you can see, I need to unjam this. You need Fletcher's to... I have Fletcher's to... I put it in my... I'm dumb. Okay. Yeah. That was the reason why I couldn't unjam it. No! Are you serious right now? Roll back? Okay. Can I not unjam it? Is it always going to give me an error? Yes. Okay, it's always going to give me an error. So unfortunately for me, I am not going to be able to use my wonderful mechanical crossbow. So I will have to unequip this. Thankfully though, I do have an arbalest, which is relatively cool. So I might be able to use that instead, I guess. I mean, I really wanted to use the mechanical one, but if it gives me an error every single time, there's not really much I can do about that, right? So yeah, anyway, armor breaker bolt. Yeah, let's just load that. Why not? We got a bunch of hunting bolts, so on and so forth. Yeah, that's absolutely fine. And we've got pretty significant amount of space. Let's just see here. Is this better than what I have? No, the arbalest is good. Okay, no, that's fine. Okay, so we're just going to sell this. I personally think I should pretty much sell almost everything. I'm probably... If I can't unjam this, then there's not really much I can do, right? You know, I don't really want to sell it though, because the only way that I can actually get this, or the only way that, you know, players can get it, is by either defeating the two female assassins in the French mercenary route, or by getting it in the character creation. So that's the only way you can actually get this thing. But I am going to be putting it in my chest, nevertheless. And let's actually just upgrade my chest a little bit more there. There we go. Okay, so first of all, let's just go and visit the bathhouse real quick. Hopefully nothing's going to happen in that time. Doesn't seem like it. And let's go to the bailiff's camp. In order to see the seriousness of the problem for yourself, you personally visit the bailiff's camp to the north of Rowan. The sight before your eyes proves to be quite depressing. The camp is horribly unsanitary, and a whopping 2/3 of the troops are suffering from dysentery, poisoning, or simply poor health. Upon inquiring of the bailiff as to what assistance he requires to remedy this distress, you are told that the most urgent need is for potent antidotes and antiseptics. Hand over antidote 2. Hand over antidote 2. Come on now, don't be an idiot. Don't be an idiot. You've got a bunch of these, sir. You've got a bunch of these. I am going to give him every single one of my antidote 2s. Do we have a bunch of potent medicine too? No, he doesn't want this. Okay. Okay, there we go. There we go. The bailiff thanks you for your help and informs you that this should suffice to restore his men's combat capability. And we gained, you guessed it, civic talent experience. You see? This is how you gain civic talents now, in comparison to before, where you would just gain them, you know, passively, basically. So, I think that's a pretty cool system. Okay, so yeah, otherwise, what we want to do is I actually want to unequip my armor. The annoying thing about this now is that because my armor has been damaged once, it now gets damaged a lot. And it will eventually become relatively bad to use, so I should probably look into replacing it at some point. Are we okay otherwise? Am I fine? Is my character okay? Yeah, we don't have any negative effects or anything like that, so the only thing I can do now is basically just train a little bit, I suppose. I'm going to train a little bit of weapons skill, a little bit more weapons skill, and then we... I have 1 talent point to spend, but this is not really going to do anything because I'm not really going to use anything else. I guess I could use axes to a certain degree. Is there anything else that I need to do? I should probably go and speak to DeRoche just in case. Come on in, Sir Happy. Let's see what you. Let's hear what you've got there. Okay, nothing. Let's go and speak to the village chief. Okay. Following DeRoche's instructions, you ask the chief of Oisel about volunteers who would be willing to go in search of the brigands with weapons in their hands. The chief readily replies that for a small fee, he will quickly find you the suitable people. Okay, so in other words, regarding volunteers, pay this, inquire about a blacksmith, inquire about a healer. The question is, do we need any of this? Oh, okay. Oh, okay. So they allow you to recruit squad members and things like that. Okay, I understand. Do I want to do this? I'm thinking probably not, because most of these guys are just peasants, and they're most likely not going to become anything super, super amazing, but they could. So I'm going to get Patrick. Let's get Patrick. I think that sounds pretty fun. Your lack of authority results in low subordination among your men. Instead of preparing for the next mission, they spend their time getting dead drunk. Your allies will start the next... Oh no, was that the next fight? Fatigued? Oh dear. Well, that's quite funny considering I literally could just do this. And now they're, as you can see, look at that, strength of all squad. Look, there you go. That's it. And look at the soldiers now. Now they love us. That is really funny. Okay, yeah, that is really, really amusing. Okay, well, this guy is obviously going to be absolutely terrible. And he is, he's got a broadsword, which I suppose is okay, and he has an assassin's crossbow. Yeah, I mean, I'm not really going to be outfitting him in anything, because he's going to automatically gain stuff, and I'm only going to take one person. To be honest, I don't really like relying on a squad, if I'm honest. Let's see. Ask about more serious warriors. Oh, okay. After scratching his head, the chief says that there are indeed two veterans, Bernard, an impoverished knight, and Pascal, a former sergeant in the Royal Army and an old soldier. Okay, they have both retired. Besides them, there's also one of the local hunters in the woods behind the village, Adam, who got famous last year after single-handedly tracking down and killing two brigands that robbed one of Oysel's shops. Perhaps you should reach out to one of them, the chief concludes. Okay, so, okay, so in other words, reach out to one of them. How do I reach out? I guess we go to socialize to one of those people, or we go to the actual place. Yes, as you can see right here. So we're going to go to the tavern. You check out the Oysel Tavern. Let's go and speak to Bernard. You find a knight named Bernard in the Oysel Tavern and offer him to join your squad for a fee. After scrutinizing your clothes and equipment with a haughty look, which clearly doesn't quite match his own, to put it mildly, lackluster appearance, Bernard squints his eyes, then nods approvingly and declares that he'd be willing to serve under you for the right money. And there we go. Okay, so I'm going to hire him for 150 florins, and that's all I'm going to go for. I am not actually wanting to take more people than that. I don't think, at least. We're just going to swap these guys around as well. There we go. Okay, so I have barely any time left, so let's see. What else can I do? Well, I can scavenge, go to the hunter, go to the tavern. As I say, I don't really want to do more. There's no real need for me to do anything here, I don't think. So the best thing I can do now is just train some more. I'm going to train some more melee weapons. And what else can I do? Well, not much. That's it. That's pretty much it, isn't it? So I should get some more endurance, gamble once, and then that's it. There we go. About a week after your arrival in Rowan, it's kind of weird because we started with about 40% of the normal time, but I'm going to assume the reason for that is because we failed with the bandit thing initially, beforehand, potentially? I don't know. The scouts report that the rebel forces led by Geoffroy de Harcourt are finally on the move. Just as de Roche predicted, after leaving the castle of that place, Geoffroy's army in a matter of days crosses the vast lands of the duchy in lightning speed and sets camp in the outskirts of Rowan. However, after seeing how well the city is protected and how numerous its garrison is, reinforced by de Roche's men and the bailiff's detachment, Geoffroy abruptly loses confidence in his forces, and after standing for a couple of days under the walls of Rowan, opts to fall back to the castle of Saint Sevier. Squad size and strength, completion of quests, check, passed. During the retreat, however, several squads break away from his army, clearly indicating discord among rebels and the fact that their plans have been very much disrupted. Emboldened by such a development, de Roche decides not to wait for the arrival of the king and the royal army, but instead gathers all the combat-ready forces and sets off after Geoffroy. Outnumbered and low on morale, the rebels do not dare to engage in battle and take refuge in the castle. De Roche, however, wastes no time and immediately sets about storming it. Alright, here we go. This is going to be a big deal right here. This is a big fight. Okay, am I ready for it? Kind of wonder whether I should equip the skull ring. You know what? Let's equip the skull ring. I wanna try it out. Let's just try it out and see. Let's see if it's actually useful here, because it might be. It might be really, really useful. Okay, so he's going to start fatigued a little bit, as you can see right there, but I guess that's actually going to be fine. Let's try and do some damage to the head here. Of course we missed. 82% chance on a miss. I can't believe it. Nice. Nice. Okay, as long as my guy doesn't die, that's all I can really ask of him, to be honest. That's the reason why I'm actually attacking pretty fast here. I'm also going to be attempting to leave the guy in the back. Let me see here. Yeah. I'm going to try to leave the guy in the back if I can. I don't really want to attack him, because if we attack him and kill him, then he's just going to be replaced by someone else. That's going to be a big problem. So, oh, they actually killed Bernard. See, now this is exactly the reason why I didn't want to be super hardcore investing in the squad, because as you can quite clearly tell, they didn't even survive the first battle. There's just not enough time, really, before they're thrust into an extremely hard battle. I mean, this isn't really difficult. Let's just say that. It's not a difficult battle in the least, but for them, this is very, very hard in comparison to what you'd normally expect. Yeah, so they're going to get absolutely destroyed here, which is unfortunate. Not much I can really do about that, though. So, there we go. Nice. That's fine. That's also fine. Okay, so let's continue to do damage against these guys. Nice. He's almost dead. This is where I really wish I had more strength. This is where I wish I had more strength, because I would have been able to kill this guy in one hit if I did, and that would have made a huge amount of difference. And it's the old adage, you know. It's the old adage of, you know, if the guy isn't actually alive anymore, then he can't do any damage. But if he's at 5 HP, then he's still going to be just as effective as if he was at 100 HP. You know what I mean? So generally, that's something to very much bear in mind. And as you can see, I do about 50 damage with my current abilities. So yeah, that's not exactly great, but it's fine. It's fine. We should be able to eliminate this guy in just a moment. There we go. Thankfully, their shields are not really doing much. And if we just stay high on stamina right now, we shouldn't have too many issues. And I'm actually going to shoot this guy in just a moment with my crossbow. I'm going to shoot this guy with an aimed shot in the head. I hit him. Nice. Unfortunate for me, though, that it didn't actually do any damage. Huh. Okay. Well, that's interesting. Yeah, that's the reason why I wanted to continue using the mechanical crossbow, because it's just so good, you know? It's just really, really good. Unfortunate for me. Oh well. Never mind, never mind. Okay, let's just tackle this guy. Okay, there we go. That's the final enemy. Okay, that's great, that's great. So what we can do now is I can literally just reload if I want to. Let's just reload one of these things. And then we can just shoot this guy. And shoot him in the neck. Blocked with a shield, of course. Yeah, that's the thing. I didn't actually find the trinket that allows you to penetrate enemy shields with crossbow bolts, which would have been amazing. But for some reason, I couldn't find it. I don't know why. So we're just going to do a little bit of respite here. And then we're just going to take him out. Easy enough. I should probably use the other, the culling strike attack. That's probably more useful. But yeah, it does 63 damage, so it would have allowed me to kill him in one hit. But it's fine. We're okay. And now let's just see. We've got a bunch of stuff here. And obviously I'm going to be taking pretty much everything that I can that's over 100. That's usually what I try to do if I can. Armor breaker bolt. Nice. Hunting bolt. Hunter's quiver. Pretty terrible. Yeah, we'll just take this other stuff. There we go. After capturing the walls and breaking inside the castle, you notice Geoffroy, who, surrounded by his bodyguards, keeps issuing orders. What, really? There's another one? There's another fight? Okay, that's actually interesting. Okay, I wasn't expecting that in the least. I actually thought to myself, there's no way. I really thought that there is no way here. I thought we were going to have some big issues with this. So, yeah, I'm going to use some poison here. Unfortunately, that is lowering my virtue, but that's actually fine because we are, yes, indeed, you guessed it, we are indeed going to be gaining virtue every single time we kill an opponent here. So that's pretty good. That's pretty good if I do say so myself. Ooh, I just want to hit him on the limbs. I just want to hit him on the limbs, please. That is all I want to do. I can't even use respite right now. That is so sad. There we go. He's hit, and he is going to take massive damage. Unfortunately, I am stunned. Is that a double stun? Did they literally try to double stun me right there? Can't believe that. Okay. Wow. Yeah, see, now this is exactly what I'm talking about. Look at this. Look at this. They're just spamming shield bashes over and over again. I need to get more stamina recovery. I need to get more endurance or more coordination or whatever it is. I actually don't know which stat governs that now. I forget, but yeah. It's going to be extremely important. See, as you can see, I gain 5 virtue every single time we actually kill one of these guys, so that's really, really nice. Let's try and get my fatigue down. Wow. I mean, literally, look at this insanity right here. They are just reducing my stamina every single time with shield bashes, and they all have shield bashes, and they also spam them like no one's business. It's actually kind of insane that they're even able to hit them that much. Speaking of that, I am going to be taking some strong ale. Just literally to reduce the amount of fatigue that I have. But the funny thing is, whenever they do an attack, they are fatiguing me. You know, they are fatiguing me with huge amounts of shield bashes. You see this? This is crazy. Okay. Yeah, well, they're both getting exhausted as well, so I suppose that's pretty good, but as you can see, I'm now stunned, so let's just hope that that's not going to make any difference. I can't believe this, actually. I can't believe that they are being so incredibly effective with that. Okay, I'm going to have to hit this guy. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Okay, oh, that's it? Okay, whew. I was a bit worried there for a second. I thought to myself, okay, I don't really want to face another, you know, handful of enemies, because that would have been hard. That would have been very, very difficult. Thankfully, this guy is not actually going to be able to do anything now, so I can pretty much just kind of relax a little bit more now. Let's do Culling Strike. Hit him on the neck. And he's dead. Yep. That is very much a dead person. Thank you. Thank you. There we are. He's out of there. Okay, great. So, oh yeah. We're getting some crazy cool stuff. There's a nobleman's scabbard as well. Fatigue recovery. Ooh, hello. Haha, that's quite funny. Alright, so I'm actually just going to get rid of this. I'm going to take the knight's axe, because that is just too good, I guess. I could equip the loot bag. I guess I will equip that, even though that's not really... I don't really like doing that kind of stuff, but it's fine. Desperately resisting, Geoffroy de Harcourt gets killed in battle, and so you fail to take him alive. Which one was he? As a result of de Roche's brilliant actions, the rebellion is effectively crushed by the time the rebel troops arrive in Normandy. Rouen is completely safe. The rebel leader Geoffroy de Harcourt is slain, most of the rebel lords are defeated, and the few remaining pockets of resistance no longer pose a serious threat. All that remains for Jean is to leave the rebel remnants be torn apart, or is to let them be torn apart, by his troops who have been starved for spoils since the indecisive end of the war with the English, and also to promptly seize the property of the aristocrats who have been complicit in the rebellion and reallocate it for the benefit of the depleted royal treasury. De Roche, who already enjoyed considerable authority among the French lords and soldiers, finally secures the title and fame of the best commander in the kingdom, and considering his recent victory over the English, perhaps in all of Western Europe as well. While the king's troops finish off the rebel remnants, you, along with the rest of Desroches' men, get a respite and enjoy quiet life in Rouen at the royal court for a couple of weeks. One day you accompany Desroches on a trip outside the city. As you get far enough from Rouen, you find yourself at some unassuming inn where, to your surprise, Desroches decides to stop for a couple of mugs of local ale. Your initial surprise at such a strange choice of leisure activities, which hardly befits your boss's status, quickly fades when you spot Raglan and his bodyguard inside the inn, already waiting for you at a table in a secluded corner. "Finally, I was starting to grow moss in here. I think some face fungus would suit you just fine." Raglan sips ale from his mug with a grin. "I've been to a lot of secret meetings, but I never tire of finding irony in how often the fate of the kingdom can be decided in seemingly completely random places. The fate of the kingdom is determined by the king, and we are but his humble servants, who help the monarch's will come to fruition." Raglan's grin grows even wider. "Nice words. I'm glad you still think that way, because I started having some negative thoughts since our last meeting. That some negative thoughts could cross your mind." The Dauphin did not deserve such a punishment. The evidence Charles presented is circumstantial at best. Well, circumstantial or not, the Dauphin did not shy away from befriending the royal rebel Geoffroy. And we all know how Geoffroy, even before the uprising, allowed himself to speak of the king. Furthermore, the Dauphin was, to put it mildly, in no hurry to gather troops against the rebels. The Dauphin's slowness in assembling troops, the lad's still just a young pup, he can barely buckle a saddle on a horse, let alone run a duchy. Let's suppose that is so. The Dauphin's friendship with Geoffroy can be easily explained at least by the fact that Geoffroy is his damn vassal, and as for the criticism of the king, in all honesty, it was Jean who was the first to publicly insult him. Just like de Montfort, just like the Dauphin, just like the English negotiators 2 years ago, and many, many, many others. If the master kicks everyone left and right, it should come as no surprise that yard dogs scatter from him. Questioning the king's etiquette, comparing the crown prince to a backyard dog, and all in one sentence. That's quite bold, even by your standards. You're lucky we're having this conversation away from prying eyes, or ears even. Otherwise, someone could earn themselves a cozy cell in the dungeons with such talk, or even a visit to the executioner. Phew. What, you're thinking of ratting me out? I don't believe that. You're my friend, Desroches, but the crown is the crown, and it must be respected, because if we lose respect for it, what will we have left? Both Raglan and Desroches go silent and stare into each other's eyes for quite a while. Seeing that his interlocutor is not going to answer the question, Raglan sighs softly and changes the subject. "Tell me honestly, do you think Charles is lying?" Taking a large sip from his mug, Desroches looks around and briefly fixes his gaze on the innkeeper's wife, who helps serving drinks to the guests. All of Navarre, as they say, is about the size of the local innkeeper's wife's ass, but it's still a kingdom, and Charles is its king. And accusing a king of lying is a quite serious offense, just as you said it yourself. You shouldn't be offended. Despite our differences on some issues, we're on the same side. At least as long as you don't start a mutiny like our friend Geoffroy, which I hope will not be the case. As for Charles, he's obviously a king, but he's not our king, and that makes a huge difference. I don't know, Raglan. I'm a warrior, not some palace schemer. I know how to keep people in line, how to reach compromises and find common ground with lords when royal service demands it. But intrigues are not my thing. All I know is that Charles, with his bottomless pockets and an endless list of debtors, vassals, and landed estates scattered throughout the kingdom, is the second most powerful man in France after the king. He had a grudge against Jean, and the war with the English was the perfect time for him to stab the king in the back. But he didn't. unlike Geoffroy. Of course, he didn't help out with any troops either, just like de Montfort, but Charles at least has the excuse of the war with the Castilians. So, I see it pretty much the same way. We need to keep an eye on Charles, but right now he's the least of our problems. I'm glad we had this talk. Having defeated the English and crushed the rebellion in Normandy, the king triumphantly returns to Paris. De Roche, as the architect of both victories, is rewarded with a number of rich landholdings, and you in turn receive the rare honor of being knighted by the king himself. You are granted no lands or castles, yet you are generously rewarded with gold. Despite the ostensible triumph of the king's homecoming to Paris and the lavish ceremonies honoring the heroes, the real state of affairs in the kingdom appear to be far from good. From your conversations with de Roche, as well as from the rumors and scraps of conversations that reach your ears, you learn that entire regions of the kingdom have been plunged into lawlessness and chaos due to the rampages of the routiers, the now unemployed mercenaries of the English and French kings who have turned into well-armed brigands with combat experience after the end of the war. Their brazenness and impunity have turned out so great that some gangs have not hesitated to operate even in the vicinity of Paris itself. It hasn't been quite clear as to how exactly to fight them, since the army that the king had assembled for the war against the English had to be disbanded upon his return from Normandy due to the lack of money for its upkeep, as well as the desire of the nobles to return to their lands as soon as possible to prevent them from being plundered. And none of the aristocrats have been in a hurry to help Jean in solving the kingdom-wide problem. The peasants and merchants who were already dissatisfied with the king for imposing new taxes on them during the war and who are now also suffering from brigands have been cursing Jean from the bottom of their hearts. The only thing that has at least somewhat salvaged the situation is a brilliant and brutal quelling of the rebellion in Normandy, which has clearly demonstrated to all those discontent with the king what exactly awaits them in case of any serious action against the crown. You have been knighted and stationed at the de Roche estate in Paris, and received the title of Knight Bachelor. Interlude 2. Trust Issues. And we've received a salary, prestige level, and so on and so forth. And there we have it. Okay, so we've now reached the next interlude. I'm very excited. Let's see what next happens. I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.